Man,
Still 0-2.
just getting this damn.
So when he started this game and threw the first pitch, this became the 13th team that Rich Hill has played for. And only 2 of the players in big league history played that many teams. Octavio Dotel, 13, and Edwin Jackson, 14. Fly ball, right field, and deep.
But that one's gone. Rosario, Apple Homer. Wow.
Now, Michael, that's a perfect example of good timing and good placement. The placement is the shortest part of the field, but the timing, if you hit that ball in the 5th or 6th inning, it's probably going to take a little bit of the track because that marina layer takes in and the ball doesn't carry as well. But the sun being out, you got pretty good carry the other way there.
And you can tell that Hill knew it.
Yeah.
Well, that too.
Fifth home run of the year for Rosario, and the first pitch to Taylor is a little bit low. So just like that, the Dodgers jump out to a lead.
Dodgers jump out to a 2-0 lead.
And Michael, if you're the Padres, all these years, you feel like the Dodgers are the big brother, the bullies, and they always come out and attack you. So when they had an inning where they scored 7 innings just a few days ago, that's huge for the Padres' confidence. But again, the Dodgers' big brother comes out like bullies and hits you right across your chest for a 2-0 lead.
Welcome to the behind the scenes. Yeah, I'm doing a double stream. One here, one on my damn phone. I got the double stream going. Yeehaw.
These games are all important. And that one just misses upstairs.
Well, let's see how many people I can get in here. Between both. Nope. I didn't get a whoop. 2-2. 2-0 already.
In this Dodger lineup, where you have a left-hander or right-hander kicker with an outstanding pickup for them. Kansas is proven.
Sit down, buddy boy. 2, 3 up, 3 down, and get this. Padres coming to bat on KR. Come here.
You can find us in big cities and small towns across
Stay
the
for me.
U.S. Our focus is to always serve
Bro.
the people who live and work there. Because
I got the chat up on my iPad. Phone. I think I do.
Thanks some Lays. What you watching?
The FIFA Women's World Cup.
Yeah,
Women are some of the best of all time.
What makes them so good?
Yep. I'm gonna see if I can do it
This
this
is me, I am. He takes the ball downfield and passes it to the Doritos and Bulldog. He's like the goalkeeper.
It was 1995, and something was brewing at Coors Field.
What price do you see this? This is history. A greatness going to come through once in a blue moon.
Blue Moon was born in a ballpark, brewed by the spirit of baseball.
I hope you guys can see me okay. Okay, now. Yeah. Okay, we'll make sure that other one is going. Commercial right now, I think.
Very tight. And now he's
First pitch to
Control of it for another year, and they're going to face that.
well, Lance Lynn is pitching right now. I got 2 streams going. If you're watching on the computer, come on in. If you're watching on the laptop, come on in, everybody.
a little bit more of a secondary type, and now he's getting back to that good old fastball right there. And he's alone, Michael, 6'5", 275 pounds, 36-year-old guy can miss.
And he's the only pitcher in baseball that's averaging over.
Make sure you guys hit that like. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe.
Innings, and that's why the Dodgers picked him up.
Ha!
And he likes pitching at Petco. 4 starts at Petco Park. In his
4 starts going
I love
at
it.
Petco.
You get a guy like this in this type of ballpark or even in LA, and he's going to do much better because he's a fly-ball pitcher. The other part is we're going to have a guy, Boomer, David Wells, later on in the show today, who reminds me a lot of a guy like this. All they care about is being a pitcher and winning. They don't care if it looks pretty. They don't care if you like them.
Well, that's true. Only one problem now.
1-2.
1-2
Runs one to third. Across the diamond.
to Freddie Freeman.
Alex, do you think that the Padres made a mistake not selling off some of the parts because they have a huge payroll and they have certainly underachieved? But since they decided not to sell, they've actually played well and made it work.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they made exactly 25.
Hang on, I'm gonna get caught up here. I'm not fully caught up.
The Angels, who are dropping like a lead balloon and didn't take their shot to trade Ohtani. Miami
That's true.
added, Arizona, which added. They to me, even if you agree with it in the moment, like ultimately reality sets in and you probably didn't take advantage of it.
Just finished 10 games.
1 on, 1 out.
By this, Alex, I don't know. Playoffs in 2017, it became pretty obvious if you were watching the baseball games that Gary Sanchez was going to be problematic as a catcher. Gleyber Torres was going to be problematic as a shortstop. Luke Voigt was going to be problematic as a first baseman. They built a theory around right-handed power that can get the ball out to the short porch opposite field. But that was built in 2018 and 19 when they were playing the Super Bowl. The Yankees set their team record in both 2018 and 2019 for homers in a season. They hit over 300 homers in 2019. As the ball has had some of the air taken out of it,
2 outs.
what do you have? You have this two right-handed lineup, not enough athletes on the field, and I just think, what word do you want to use? Do you want to use stubborn? Do you want to use arrogant? Like they stuck to the theory as if they were counting cards in a casino, and eventually.
Oh, it's 3-0. It was safe.
I do want to go back to they did get into the playoffs every year doing that, and it's not inconceivable that they'll get into the playoffs this year. But I think whether they do, even if they do, I think a hard look in the mirror.
Come on in if you're watching the Pete McDivitt Show. Unsubscribe from here. Subscribe to this channel, which is the Shady Lane Homes LLC YouTube channel. I'm looking that way because I'm doing a double stream and at the computer. Don't be afraid. You get to see me on both sides, so damn right, folks.
Toronto's got their act together. Who knows with Boston? You just can't.
Well,
there was a time the Yankees lined up. People were intimidated to count the Yankee Stadium.
0-1 pitch, down low.
They can't just throw their uniforms on the field, and they can't just. It isn't a basketball team. You can't just count on Judge and
1-1. 3-0 pitch.
Well, they overturned the play at home plate. They said that he illegally blocked home plate, so that run is allowed to score. So it's 3-0 Dodgers, first and second. Still 1 out for LA with Mookie Betts at the plate. So you called it. He didn't give him a lane to slug.
Yeah, and that's the new rule. And in the old days, that would be A-okay, but in today's game, that's interference. So good call and good overtime.
Talking with Joel Sherman of the New York Post here on the K-Rock Cast. As we go a little post-mortem on the trade deadline. Let's see if this is 2. There's 1, and that's all they get. They can double up bets. So runners on first and third.
Runners on first and third. You got to give the runner a lane.
Now, Joel, the Astros got Verlander. The Rangers added multiple arms. Jack Flaherty went to the Orioles from the Cardinals. The Blue Jays got Paul DeYoung.
Jack Flaherty went from the Orioles to Cardinals. Blue Jays traded Paul DeYoung, Jordan Hicks.
Scherzer did not pitch that well this year.
Foul tapped away.
Yeah, Mike, there was obviously some very bad games in there. There's pedigree. I think that it was pretty clear how the Mets handled this was they went to teams and essentially said, like, what's the break-even number where you would take
1 pitch. Freddie Freeman swang and a man strike 2.
If we add another 10
0-2 pitch.
do we have access to
Good night, Bob. Welcome in.
And I think it's
Madge Keep both shirts clean.
Because of who they are, the expectation that they'll rise to
I got a
the
behind the scenes
rise to
going.
Look,
Yeah. I can't show the screen, but you can hear the audio.
You know, like it's funny when people tell me he's 40, what do you expect? I'm like, I don't know, at 39, he won the Cy Young. So I expect something. I think it was just a matter of Steve Cohen was willing to foot a bill. I had not conversations about this. I've written about it. I just think
Joe Schulman is on the ESPN call with A-Rod and Michael K. I don't know why the hell they got this guy on. I want to hear A-Rod. A-Rod's a good guy. He's a damn good ball player when he played for the Yankees. 2-2 pitch. Fouled back. Freeman's putting up one hell of a fight. Not letting go.
Spend good money on prospects, but you got to pick the right prospects, and I'm fascinated to see if they have.
And also, Joel, I mean, we're right up against it. We'll have you on the next inning as well. I mean, okay, so he pivoted away from what he did, but what he and Billy Upwood did was still the greatest in baseball history.
Yeah, about 7 weeks ago, I think I was the first one who kind of publicly compared them to the 92 Mets, who our friends Bob Clappish and John Harper wrote a book called The Worst Team Money Could Buy. It was interesting. I think their payroll was $46 million. It was the highest in 1992. That's now like the salary for Scherzer and Verlander annually. He just got it. You know me. I go a couple of times a week to both stadiums, and I just kept watching the Met team, and I couldn't explain it because they were very good last year, and this was mainly the same core. Did they lose something both physically and psychologically by not having Diaz at the end? Who knows? But some guys went from A minus B plus seasons to like C minus D. Marte, McNeil, Ottavino, Scherzer. Like these guys were exceptional last year, and they went way down, and it just became like you could just talk about it's a long season for a certain amount of time, and then you have to face reality. And I think they faced the reality that this just was never going to fly.
Still, 43 minutes putting up one hell of a fight. Crap. The computer's getting old, folks. I need to put some juice on it. Come here, battery charger. Uh-oh. See ya, Santa Maria.
Took a shot and he quickly shifted. I mean, he's a trader and he's one of the greatest traders in the world. And that's exactly what he's doing here.
Freddie Freeman, 2-1 Jack.
I like to see it play out for 3 or 4 years, and then we can judge. That's my point.
Alex, I think if he were on Truth Serum with us right now,
6-0.
he took over
Dodgers.
Franchise in extreme duress.
You're watching the behind the screen scenes. If you want to see the score, it's 4-6 to nothing.
It took him a long time to even find a top baseball official. I'm not even sure that that's ultimately going to be Billy Upwood even by next season.
No, this is a blooper. Caught. Nice sliding catch by Juan Soto. Padres coming up the bat. Let's go, Padres. As we go to the bottom of the second.
I started my own app company, and with Cricket, I'm able to answer calls from my engineers and investors and know my signal.
lost it to the Masters. What's in your wallet?
Peace. Well, I'll show you a little bit of it, but I can't show you the whole game. That's what I look at when I'm streaming. But I give you the full tour, the behind the scenes. Next time, part 2. This is part 1 of behind the scenes. Look for part 2 coming up, which would be tomorrow or Tuesday on this channel of Shitty and Lane Homes LLC, the YouTube channel. If you're new here, hit that like button down below right there. Hit that subscribe button down below. Yeah. Peace. Adios. Santa Maria, folks. And
All Dodgers early after an inning and a half, 6-0. At Petco Park. Another game tomorrow, so it's kind of a wraparound series. Here's a tweet that I received. Do I call it an X now? The Halos added a bunch of pieces, but have lost their last 6 out of 7. I don't think the new pieces have helped. I believe Shohei is sick of the underachieving and is gone next season. We're still with Joel Sherman of the New York Post. Joel, do you believe that Ohtani is gone? And if you do you believe that Moreno made a mistake not trading him?
Yeah, I understand what Artie Moreno did. It's not an easy thing to trade this player. He's probably the greatest player ever when you think about what he accomplishes from both sides as an exceptional hitter and an exceptional pitcher. He's worth a ton of money to this team when he's there. That being said, there was a great book I read like 25 or 30 years ago, and I really encourage everybody to read it, especially people who cover sports, baseball. It's called Illiteracy. It's about our statistical and numeric illiteracy.
oh yeah,
I don't really understand what it means when somebody says, "Oh, that team has a 15% chance of making the playoffs." Like, you really have to understand what 85 out of 100 means, that you're not going to make the playoffs. And that was about where the Angels were when they decided not to trade Ohtani. It's hard to get from where they were to
well, that too.
where they want to go. But they fill the place. He's a great player. They make money.
That is true.
Getting the 2, 3, 4 pieces that they have to try to fix this thing over the next few years. Them and the Tigers. I mean, again, the Yankees deserve some real criticism for where they are now. But remember, the Angels haven't made the playoffs since 2014, and they've had Trout the whole time. They've had Trout no time for a lot of it. There is something to just getting into the tournament, especially as it's gotten easier. It looks like they're not even going to do that.
Bogarts pops that one up.
Bogarts pops that one up.
So, Joe, I've kind of divided these teams into two spots, right? One is proactive teams called the Braves, and some are reactive teams like the Angels this year and the Yankees. When you take 2 players from the Braves and 2 players from the Yankees, you have Acuna Jr. and Albies collectively, total contracts, $135 million. You take Aaron Judge and you take DJ LeMahieu, $440 million. And these guys are younger, and some may say even better, some may say a little worse. But if you take an approach proactively with Judge, you maybe get him for $130, $140 million 2 or 3 years early, making the captain. You sign him to 33, and you have the option to extend. With DJ LeMahieu, after a 2-year deal, after 1, you extend him to, you maybe give him 42 for 4, and you don't get
that too.
$1 million in 7 years in totality.
Looped into right field, caught.
We'll come back so you can answer that question. We played 2 innings in Petco Park, and it's all Dodgers 6 over the Padres. Wait.
Dad, we got this.
You got this.
Don't you got this? Life is for living. Let's harder for all of it. Edward Jones.
When moderate to severe ulcerative colitis takes you off course, put it in check with Rinvoq, a once-daily pill.
When I wanted to see results fast, Rinvoq delivered rapid symptom relief and helped leave bathroom urgency behind. Check.
When UC tried to slow me down, I got lasting.
Well, that too.
Permission with Rinvoq. Check.
And when UC caused damage, Rinvoq came through by visibly repairing the colon line. Check. Rapid symptom relief, lasting steroid-free remission.
And a chance to visibly repair the colon lining. Check, check, and check.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take it allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Put UC in check and keep it there with Rinvoq.
Ask your gastroenterologist.
Commercial break, everybody.
How Apple can help you save.
The Parkers seeing and the Dodgers lead 6-0 as we go to the third inning. We're talking with our friend, the baseball columnist from the New York Post, Joel Sherman. So, Alex, reset your question because Joel has things to do and people see.
Yeah, but he should be here because he's just right down the street here in New York City. But Joe, real quick, the difference between proactive teams and reactive, and I think the Braves, it's a masterclass. You got it.
Yeah, so I think that there's a lot there, Alex, that I don't even know, even with 3 more outs, we get into everything. But remember,
We're doing a spin here to see who would win if we would bet something.
advantage to some degree where they were. We probably understand that a little better. The Yankees, at a time where you were saying they should have done that with Judge, was also a period where he was hurt a lot. They had gone early with Hicks and Severino. That was a disaster. You mentioned LeMahieu and Hicks, to me, have the same problem. They played stupid luxury tax games to try to stretch them out longer to lower the annual average value. They just would have been better. Look, even if you make a mistake on Hicks and say, instead of 7 at 70, you do 4 at 60 or 4 even at 70, you're done with it. With LeMahieu, it should have been a 4-year contract. If you'd done with it earlier, Alex, they were in a bad position this trade deadline because they've done a lot wrong these last few years.
Hey, if you're new here, make sure you hit that sub. We have.
The Braves' ability to be proactive, and also that people seem to really want to play in Atlanta and are willing to sign there long term.
Well, this Joel Sherman guy who's speaking right now is an idiot. Swing, man, strike 2. As we're in the top of the third. You guys new here. Say hello in the chat.
See you on the MLB Network and on your podcast as well.
And next time, come to our home right here. We have a seat for you.
Alex, I'm very easy. You sent a text. You didn't send an invite to the studio.
Hit by pitch.
Thanks, Joe. All right, guys. Be well.
So Taylor gets plunked. It's 6-0 Dodgers over the Padres.
6-0. Who got plunked?
We have a tweet on the Yankee trade deadline. When the Yankee trade deadline performance was as good as the A-Rod 3-point shooter.
Chris Taylor got plunked.
It was way better than that. It was way better.
The trade deadline?
Yeah.
Okay. They did get Keenan.
There you go. There goes the problem.
No, he did very well today. So 2 shutout innings. Middleton. So
Henderson.
Kike
Hernandez. Strike 1.
Had some good years with them as well.
I want to ask our friend Boomer Wells this question. Analytics department, there's some things that they say that really get me upset. Like, batting average doesn't matter. Wins from pitchers don't matter. RBIs really don't matter. And, of course, some gray in there. But, guys, in order to have a good hitter, you have to have good batting average and driving runs. And, yes.
Damn good point, A-Rod.
Understands how to win. By the way, Boomer Wells is one of the best pitchers of our generation. And I love facing him because he had
Stolen base.
bigger than he had
10th stolen bag stolen.
and he just came after me every time. I love the guy.
Well, let's bring him on. He joins us now, a native of San Diego.
There he is.
There he is.
How are you?
Not too much. We're talking about like today's baseball, how different it is. Do you like the way the game is played, but things are accentuated now?
Not really. It was hard. I was in San Diego a few weeks ago, and I went to a game, and I sat there behind home plate with a buddy of mine, and just watching the pitch clock. I got banged on it a couple times, but just to see that the game is everybody's different. Some guys probably needed the clock, but most of us didn't need the clock. So to me, to have a clock tell me I need to hurry up and pitch, it's like, if the people want to leave. I mean, there shouldn't be a time limit on the game.
The clock would have never affected you, though. You got the ball and you threw the ball all the time.
Yeah, I know, but some guys like Brad Penny, that guy took forever. That guy was like, but the thing was, he was a heck of a pitcher, but some guys didn't need it. Some guys, did it, but if you want to speed the game up. But I'm not a big fan of the game right now, just the way it is. All these decisions. I was very outspoken about Manfred a while back in Tahoe and all that stuff. But to me, to change the games and the rules like this, it's not for me.
Swing and a miss, strike two.
Frustrating to me that
was a curveball.
You were not involved in baseball, like with your hands all over. I mean, I remember I would see you at a bar and I would face you the next day, and you're like, "Hey, you know exactly what I'm gonna throw. You're gonna throw your gas in, curveballs, and you hit it. You're gonna hit me, I'm gonna get you." But I just thought that you didn't overthink it. You went out, you had fun, you competed, never back down. And I just think a lot of this kind of DNA
2-1 pitch.
in today's game.
Coming on up.
Well,
David Wells is on with Michael K. and A-Rod right now. Just joining us. Oh, welcome in.
Greatest game ever. Don't get me wrong, but I wanted to help out. I knew pitching, and thanks for the compliment there. But me, I trusted my ability. I knew what I wanted to throw. I wanted to get guys like you, the greatest guys in the game. I wanted to pitch against those guys and get them out and prove that I could do that and do my job and be successful. And to me, don't overthink anything. If you trust your ability and you know how to throw strikes, you make that game, you simplify it a little bit better than trying to struggle and aim and go after it. Because I don't care if it's you, Poppy, or Manny Ramirez, Jim Toney, guys like that, Don Mattingly, George Brett, Bogsy, all those guys. I went after you guys, and you knew I threw strikes, so you knew that you had to get in.
Damn right. We threw strikes.
Time to time, because I don't want you to get comfortable. That's how you have to pitch to these good hitters.
Be right back.
Now, you played for both of these teams, the Dodgers and the Padres, and I know the Padres, that's where you grew up, and San Diego is the love of your life. What was it like pitching for both of these teams?
Well, it was great. It was an honor, obviously, to play for San Diego growing up there. But, I was a Padres fan growing up, a Yankee fan as well. So I had the American League.
I know we lost Brewer.
Did we really?
We'll get him back. First and second, 2 men out. We'll talk with Rich Hill. His Padre debut has not gone that great. And that home run he served up to Freeman, it was significant because first one to a lefty, right?
First home run to a lefty. And Freeman, who's quietly, Michael, you said it best, having an MVP year, and he just keeps getting better and better. But one note, if Gary Sanchez doesn't make that play, the game will still be 2-0, perhaps.
Yeah.
Big.
Ball back.
There he is. David is back. So, David, you were talking about the Padres and the Dodgers. So you love playing for the Padres because that was your team growing up.
It was, and the Yankees were my team too, because I was a big Ron Guidry fan. He was my idol growing up, and
now we got him back.
Play for the Yankees was a dream
As
come true.
Let's listen in.
And going back to San Diego,
shut up and
was a
let
dream come
him
true. So I
talk.
completed my life
For a little
in
bit.
the game of baseball. But playing for the Dodgers, it was a different thing.
Foul ball.
We had a pretty good team. They just got me for the playoff run. But you see a different side because everybody in San Diego hated the Dodgers, and vice versa. So to me, it's like the Yankees and the Red Sox. So they hated each other, and I can contest to that because there was a lot of friction going on. So when the Padres let me go that year, and I went to the Dodgers, I was so mad. The way they let me go, it was a thrill to go and beat the Padres, and I beat them twice. So to me, it was a bittersweet, but it was great because they didn't make the playoffs that year. So I can kind of say that it was my fault.
2-2 count.
2-2 comes. Tuttle.
And that one is fouled back.
Fouled back,
Now,
joined
one
with
thing I always want, I
the
told you
famous
before off the air, David, that
David
you
Wolf.
pitched the perfect game in '98. And I believe that after you pitched that perfect game, you were the best pitcher in baseball for the rest of the year. Was that the best you ever pitched in your life?
In 2000, Michael, I was 15-3 at the All-Star break. And then
He was 15-3 at the All-Star break.
Guys like that, and I didn't really care. I just wanted to go out and pitch. But the team that we had there in '98 was so great, and it was just so laid back. You didn't fear anything because if you go 6, or go 5, you had a chance of winning the game if you had a lead. But just
so
for
6-0 Dodgers.
The greatest team ever.
All right, so David, when we come back the next inning, we're going to look at an in-depth breakdown of a great matchup between you and Alex. You got to stick around for this; it's going to be awesome. That's coming up next. I love it.
2 miles an hour, so everybody sees. 2 miles an hour, so everybody sees.
For 102 miles, continue straight.
2 miles an hour, so everybody sees. 2 miles an hour, so everybody sees. Just get out, put my pedal to the floor, and let's go.
Can I have some Lay's? What you watching?
The FIFA Women's World Cup. These women are some of the best of all time. Can I show you? Imagine this Doritos is every Walmart. She has the brand Chastain. She's so
I'm a bear. I'm coming out of hibernation after the best nap of my life. And Papa is hungry. And while you're hitting the trail, I'm hitting your cooler. Now, hitter! I'm the hot dog bun. Your company car insurance might not pay for all this. So get all state. Be better protected from Vega.
I hate these commercials.
Or
Come on in, we got 9 people in the chat.
All the taste, no flavor ingredients, crispy and refreshing.
Coming back really inspired me to want to be my very best for this team.
It's really showing up every single day, knowing I can lead a generation coming in after me.
All right, let's go back to September of 1996. Alex was on the Mariners. David was on the Orioles. That's Davey Johnson. Tell us what's happening here, Alex.
Well, first of all, I grew up loving Davey Johnson because he was, managing my favorite team, the 1996 Mets. And I was hot, and, Boop was on the mound. And I think it was a little gamemanship, right? Like, he was just, I don't think he thought anything on my bat. But he said, let me just mess with him a little bit. So he takes the bat away. And then Griffey and I used exactly the same bat, a 271 L, triple dead blocker. And the only difference is his name and my name.
Right.
So when Davey took the bat away from me, Griffey got more upset than I did. He throws me his bat, which is exactly the same bat. I was like an Easton that I used in college in high school. And I think the next pitch, Boop might bring me a fastball in. I mean, he's challenging me every bat. He said, here, hit it if you can.
So long as the bat you guys ever had, 9 pitches.
And you remember this, David?
I do, and it was frustrating because I hated to throw a lot of pitches to each guy. Because usually when you throw a lot of pitches, the hitter wins. And then he does that to me.
Oh, I remember that very well. That was Boomer. I don't know if you remember. What made me mad was Davey Johnson was messing with A-Rod about the bat. You don't wake a sleeping giant up. You just never do. And with Boomer's great because he doesn't hide his emotions. I mean, he's basically saying, look, and he'll tell you, if you're going to hit it, just hit it first pitch and get out of the way. He doesn't want to have a guy pitch it back because he starts going, come on, just hit the ball. He'll start telling you. He'll say, hit the ball already. I mean, he never took it seriously, right?
Yeah, I mean, I screamed at guys. I remember in Fenway, I think it was a 17 or 18 pitch at bat to Marty Barrett.
Huh?
And I was just like, I just started telling him I'm going fastball. After like 15 pitches, I'm just going fastball, doing all this. And he finally hit one. He blew his knee out. And I think that ended his career because he hit a little squibbler and he blew his knee out going down the line.
Now, I saw you a couple of months ago, David, and you're in the best shape I have ever seen you in your life. You're actually thin. So my question to you is, you had a great career. If you had been in this sort of shape when you pitched, would you have been better or not?
You know what? Jim Palmer said something like that. He goes, if he took care of himself better. And I know earlier when I was watching this that A-Rod referenced Lance Lynn. I knew it was me because of the big old bellies. You know, I knew it was the big belly coming. But you know what? You don't run the ball to the plate for one thing. And I felt better and a lot, you know, for me as a bigger guy, I just felt more comfortable. So to take, if I was bigger, I didn't have a problem. You know, I had 35 starts a year. I'm only as good as my team's going to let me. But I gotta.
Lance Lynn flops it over to Buzzful, out number one.
So, Boomer, a few things. Like, some people say in the analytics world that wins don't matter. Now, you had 239 in your career, wins. You also pitched 200 innings religiously every year.
200?
To start 4 1/3, I think, is absolutely ridiculous.
No.
Why were you able to pitch so late into the game, so consistently? Great body, fine body, or
well, not just that. He's an amazing pitcher.
Well, you know what? That was our job.
239, 4.13 ERA,
when I got released by
2 Ks,
Toronto
whip was
in
126.
Went over to Detroit, and Sparky
Swing, miss.
embedded it
Drag.
in my brain. That's why he's the greatest manager of all time, is that he told me, he goes, this is your job to go 9, and I'm going to give you every opportunity to go 9, because I don't want Mike Henneman coming in to say that it's your job. If you're going that far, finish it. And that's what Sparky wanted to do with me and a lot of the other guys, and all the other starters. That was our job to do it. He's going to get us saves. So to me, that was my job to go 9. So that's all I thought about was 9. Like when Joe Torre would come out and grab the ball, he'd have to pry it out of my hands because I didn't want him to take it. I'm the best man for the job.
David, you realize that you say Sparky Anderson is the greatest of all time, and you won't have any complaints from me on that one. For me, that guy was Lou Piniella. For others, it's Joe Torre. Those are all greats, right? But the way they think, Boomer, do you realize that in today's game, none of those three will probably have a job?
You're right. You're absolutely right. Because the analytics world is clicking over, and to me, it's a matter of they just, it's a business now. It's not, the guys are not going out there having fun. It's a job description.
Well,
and these guys can't go out there and think for themselves. That's, I think, what the problem is. They don't let these guys think for themselves. They coddle them, they baby them, and they don't let them play. You know, these guys let us play. Lou, let us play. You know, Sparky, let us play. Joe, all these guys let us play.
Hold on.
Tony La Russa let his guys play. So to me, that's the difference in the game. I think today is these kids don't. They're on this analytic thing, and it's going to tell you what you can and can't do.
Monster home run there by Gary Sanchez, his 15th home run of the year. Alex, he did that right to that warehouse building.
What a Yankees do you have? That is a bomb. Little breaking ball right here, cement mixer. And one thing Gary
concrete mixer. That was. Anybody knows what I'm talking about? Hopefully, J-Rod is watching this stream.
Boomer, you talking about how much much you love playing in New York, the 98, the championship. 2 questions. Why did you love playing in New York so much? And why were you so good in October?
6-1 score.
Well, I mean, like I said, growing up as a Yankee fan and just idolizing Babe Ruth, obviously in the beginning, but Ron Guidry, all the greats of New York. I wanted to be part of that.
Outside.
Because, everyone's like, you're like Babe Ruth. Even as a little kid, because all my reports were on Babe Ruth. So that's just kind of what the love of Yankee pinstripes did for me as a kid in San Diego. And so I just always wanted to be on the biggest stage. And when you're on the big stage, you shine on the biggest stage, just like me. And I wanted to win on the biggest stage and give me the ball, and I'm going to prove to you that I can do it. And the playoffs, you know what? I'm not afraid to fail. So to me, you've already won right there. If you're not afraid to fail, you go out there and you have the ability to throw strikes like I did. You can make a difference, and you can keep the team in the ball game, especially, that 98 team, 7, 98, 2002, and 3. We had sticks, so we couldn't, you're going to get 4 or 5 runs a game on a regular night. So if you can't win with that, there's something wrong with you.
Now, our colleague, David Cohn, who's on the Sunday Night Baseball crew, he always tells this story, David, that 98, he told Joe Torre, let me and David Wells stay together on the road at another hotel. I just have to ask you, David, what went on then? Because he said that it was a great time and you guys had a great season.
This is Disney Network, Michael.
Exactly, Michael. That's a loaded question.
I was just going to say, that's a loaded question.
In the hotel, stays in the hotel. Just like on the field, just like at work. It goes there. You don't take it home. But, I think to be honest with you, it was Dave knew that Joe and I didn't get along. And so he wanted me to stay far away from him as he could. So he says, just let me take care of him. Let me do what he can do, and I'll get him there, and he'll go out and win every 5 days.
How much did it I know the answer to this because I was there. How much did it crush you, David, when they traded you at the beginning of the 99 season?
How much did it cost me?
No, crush you.
Oh, crush me.
Yeah.
It crushed me unbelievably because I thought I was going to be a Yankee for life after that. I never thought I was going to, everyone in New York loved me. The creatures, those were my guys. I don't know if I was the first guy to ever get a role. But it felt like I did because every 5 days when I'm out there, they were just screaming at me out there, and I loved it. And I'd always acknowledge it, but I just felt so comfortable. I felt
ball
I
inside.
did in San Diego as I did in New York.
Hey, Boomer, go ahead. I want to ask you, a little bit like Michael.
That's a loaded question right there about the hotel. What stays in the hotel, stays in the hotel.
Yeah, we put that.
Goes on at what stage
I like to say we put it on the map.
That is a loaded question, everybody.
And it's funny that you say that because today the bartender, Keith Zlobowicz, was the bartender there. And I walked in one day and there was nobody there. And I just started talking with Keith and we hit it off. And, and actually he was here today. I went and
I think we may get
he came over and
notice
I haven't seen him in years.
that we got farm on the damn channel.
We've gone down to Fort Myers. But,
well, one is because of that damn loaded question. 2 would be, well, maybe not for people who are 18 years older. We may not be getting monetized. Oh yeah, by the way, base is loaded, by the way.
It does make me hungry. I've been to all of those and make a trip out to Last Night. Also, David, I'd like you to cover
Mound visit to Lance Land.
what you guys do and how you raise money for a lot of really good causes.
Thank you for that. I started at 8.
Oh, Grisham's on first. Kim's on. Well, Kim's on first. Grisham's on second.
A buddy of mine, Miles Downey, the singer for Slightly Stupid Reggae Group, and they, I was over at his house, and he had a buddy of his that was on SEAL Team 6, and we started talking, and he was telling me about how the VA didn't really do a whole lot of stuff for these guys. So the next day, I started a 501c3. I had some help with some friends and started the Perfect 33 Foundation for Navy SEALs and military for traumatic brain injuries. So we've been doing that for like the last 7 years. And then last year we teamed up with Tunnel to Towers. So I got to meet Frank Siller through Andy Pettit, which was great. So we donated, a lot of money last year to Tunnel to Towers. So October 6th and 7th.
Strike one.
Here at Innisbrook here in Palm Harbor, Florida. And so we do that. So there's tickets still available. You can go to the perfect33foundation.org and sign up. And I bring celebrities in. So, hey, Ron, I don't know if you're a golfer, you're not doing anything October 6th or 7th, come on down. I'd love to have you as a celebrity.
Send me an invite.
You got it. That'd be awesome. And we've done well. We've raised over, $2.5, close to $3 million. And we just take care of a lot of our veterans. That's something that we sleep very good at night because of these guys.
Well, great stuff, David. We thank you for joining us. Please tell Nina hello. You look great. And thank you so much for popping on us on K-Rod.
Thanks, Boomer. Oh, my pleasure. And thanks for owning me in your career, A-Rod. I really appreciate that.
You've done fine.
Boomer that was. Say, what a scoop by Freeman, but
You really have everything great.
On both sides of the ball, look at that. Saves a run there. And the toughest hop, a long hop.
On the field is safe at first base. Los Angeles is challenged.
Well, Los Angeles is going to challenge. Let's see if they're going to win this challenge.
I think it's too close.
Bang, bang.
It's called out on the field. It would be overturned. It's called safe on the field. I don't think it's going to be overturned. You like replay?
I don't know.
You don't?
No.
But what if you lose a World Series game because of a bad call?
I just think that umpires are such a big part of our game. And if you want to have maybe one after the 7th inning or something like that, but I think that there's something kind of romantic and beautiful about baseball, of the unpredictability of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the game is played by humans. It should be measured and umpired by humans. And that's the give and take. That's the beauty of the game.
Well, now you see it going to his heel, and it's right there over Machado's foot there. It's being challenged by the Dodgers. It's a big challenge right now because it's 6-1, and the inning would be over. And if it's not overturned, it's 1st and 3rd. We have Soto coming up.
And one swing can make it a 2-run ball game here. So this is a huge call.
The field is overturned.
Tatis is in fact out.
Wow.
So an inning-ending double play and a successful challenge by Dave Roberts and the Dodgers. Great scoop by Freddie Freeman. So thanks to David Wells, and stay right here on K-Rod. More guests to come.
The future. The way you see it is said to depend on where you sit. And next year, we think it all starts down.
Bam, bam, bam. Bam, 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 bam. Bam, 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 bam. You guys know that song well? You get the gist.
Bringing hot, cold, and touch into one extraordinary seating experience. Our mission is to help you discover the work that it can happen with
Ending double play by a challenge by the damn fucking Dodgers. If you know anything about marching the Dodgers, they like to cheat. Right along with the Patriots.
during our summer's almost over sale. Now through August 14th.
I joined your orbit? I think I cut a bus in half?
So you want to be great? First, believe you are. Greatest trip.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna take a quick shower. Okay.
Well, listen to every MLB game live or on demand with Patrick Plus. Watch all the MLB baseball. Live lookings on MLB Big Inning or blackouts. Visit MLB.com/home. The big talents there, obviously, with Dave Robertson getting into the double play.
What a shame it is that you have a great boomer, David Wells, who wants to be a pitching coach. He doesn't have a job. He knows about pitching. He knows about pitching in October, competing, pressure, pitching 21 years. What else do you need to be an expert? I'm going to tell you, Warren Buffett, you can't teach at Columbia Business School because you're too old.
Well, it's interesting though because we're seeing a little bit of a turn on that with the Yankees bringing in Andy Pettitte now as a consultant. And Matt Blake does a great job as their pitching coach, but Andy Pettitte is the guy who's been there, done that, 19 wins in the postseason, so he can communicate with pitchers. So I think you're going to see more teams do that. Avila is the new pitcher in place of Rich Hill, who did not have a great start in his initial start with the Padres.
Michael, let me ask you, if I want to be a broadcaster, don't you think you've been doing this for 32 years, right?
Right.
And our friend Flip at the Yes Network has been doing it for probably 50 years.
Right.
Why would I go and listen to someone who's really, really smart, but has never done it? How is that person going to help me more than you? That's the one part that I'm having a hard time bridging. Do you have an answer for that?
I really don't. But I mean, the people that are doing it are very, very bright, and they do have information on their side. Because one thing that you've always brought up, I think it's something that I can push back a little bit. You seem like you're anti-analytics. I know you're not, but you need it in its entirety, where it's just all or nothing. But you see this Dodger team, aren't many teams that are more analytic than them. The Astros, they were built on athletics. So, I mean, analytics work. I mean, I think every team has different analytics, different numbers work for different teams.
As long as you're watching the game, Michael,
Right.
you can't just be stuck in the computer. I asked a couple of the players, well, why'd you get that player? Do you see these tendencies? They said, well, we've never seen baseball. We don't know anything about baseball. But the computers and the models tell us X, Y, Z. And that is completely wrong. That'll never work. I do think what you're saying will work is what the Braves are doing. Houston. I mean, the Braves have 150 years of major league experience in that dugout. They have the perfect formula. Heavy on analytics, heavy on experience.
And the Astros have Dusty
And the
Baker.
Astros have Dusty Baker. And they also have others in that dugout.
Right? Right. Sit down, Sonny. That's what you get.
What wins is consistency. And it's a game of inconsistencies, of unpredictability. So the more predictable you can make it for the player, the more comfort you can make it for the player, the better you'll be.
The one thing that I would push back on is that you see a lot of teams, and we see it in the NBA, so you know this, being one of the owners of the Timberwolves, load management is such a big, big thing, where, you almost pencil a guy into this 21 games. If he plays 60 games, you're thrilled. And then you see the Braves. Every one of them plays almost every single day.
Every game. The game is meant to be played every day. Pitchers are meant to throw 200 innings plus. Michael, if I tell you is basically what the format is. And if I tell you, Michael, would you rather do 100 games or 162? Well, 100 games is going to be easier.
Right.
But you get upset. I call you when you're upstairs and you're like, I wish I was there. I wish I would love. You got to have people like you that love your job and save for baseball. I would want to get in a fist fight with Joe Torre. If he wanted to give me a day off, he would have to buy me a bottle of wine and convince me. You gotta have Gino the same way, Bernie was the same way, Paulo Dino. But we trained to play 182 games in 460 game seasons and get into the playoffs. Right?
One thing I would tell you though, Alex, I wonder how many players push back, or they just because, as David Law said, they're trained this way. I mean, we knock pitchers for only going 5 innings. That's what they're trained to do in the minors. You can't expect them to go 8 in the big leagues when they're taken out after a certain amount of pitches in the minors, no matter where the game is, no matter what the situation is. So a lot of it is how you raise your teams.
Yes, and I also think it's a mistake to say, well, this team is built for 162 games when the goal is to win 11 or 12 games in October. Why not have both? Why not have analytics and the shootout? Why not have good 162, but not a crapshoot, like they say, a real legitimate shot to win in October? And the Dodgers, Houston, Braves are all built for both. And they use both.
JD Martinez wraps one down the left field line. That's going to be trouble. Playing it off the wall is Soto. Fires it right in. As Barnes advances to third on the double by JD Martinez.
The Dodgers do not let you breathe. Gary Sanchez puts his knee down. Boom, they score 4 more runs of that mistake. And then they get a call overturned at first base. And boom, they're right back at you. They got 2 minutes scoring position. They do not let you breathe.
Now, Alex, as we were talking, did you see that snarky little tweet about me?
What was it? Let's hear it.
It wasn't nice. It wasn't friendly, but I guess we expect that. You can tweet us all night, hashtag KRODcast, but nice haircut, Michael. Looks like you're ready for your first day of 6th grade.
My God, first of all, that's not nice. And the other part is, I have read a handful of tweets that have talked about how good you look today with your Hugo Boss.
Hey, A-Rod, please compliment Michael K. He's wearing a much nicer shirt this week.
There you go.
Wait, is that from David Cohen?
Cohen was on vacation, but I didn't hear him on the telecast today.
I think he's there.
No, he's looking to do that.
Oh, no, he's not. He's doing something like that. Now, I got ripped for this shirt, and I stand by that shirt. And as I said, I borrowed a Hugo Boss blazer because I got bothered.
I want to let the fans focus on your forearms. You are getting lean, and I want to know, what are you doing different?
Just not eating and not sleeping. That will do. A lot of stress, A-Rod. A lot of stress.
Well, you're doing about 10 hours with the Yes Network every day.
Yes, David looks sharp tonight.
He does. They all look sharp.
Yeah. I'll see David tomorrow in Chicago.
Yeah. Weather should be nice in Chicago.
I'm hoping.
Well, hopefully no more fighting. We have the fight out of the way.
Southbound ball to be a tough play. Sanchez gets Rosario to the final out. Those and other things when we get back. 6-1.
Next collections are vet recommended for ant protection. Your vet trusts them for their patients and her own dog. No.
Dodgers with 1 out.
Sorry, folks.
And that's the 32nd home run given up by Lance this year. Now, Alex is all the way over on the set, so I'm going to walk over and join him because you're going to talk about feel versus real. Talk to me about this, as I almost tripped over the table.
Stay with it, Michael. So our good friend Bobby Valentine didn't like your post. I'm going to go back to my good buddy, who's one of the great baseball minds, Bobby Valentine. I don't want to say this is called feel versus real. And I got a lot of pushback on saying, Alex, you never swung down at the ball. But let me unpack that a little bit. Really? But he's right? Because the real is I don't swing down. But the swing they saw, Michael, for all those years was a byproduct of my mentality and how I would trick myself to get that byproduct of that swing. I focused on 3 things. Number 1, I wanted to be 6'3", stay tall. Then my shoulders had to be square to you, so I didn't want to lead this way, and they also had to be level. And then, like Jeter and Paul O'Neill, I was thinking down. But what was the real is my swing, of course, has a little bit of an uppercut. That's natural. However, one thing you should never think about if you're a golfer or a hitter in baseball is lift the ball. The minute you think lift, look what happens to my shoulder. It dips, my barrel dips, and then I start coming underneath the baseball. The result of that would be less contact, more strikeouts, and less productivity. In order for me to have a perfect slight uppercut, I needed to think down through the baseball, thinking down, and my swing naturally would be a little bit of an uppercut. But I can't think uppercut.
And we actually pulled some video of some great players, and you can see the way they practice their swing. They practice down. So let's take a look. Here's Pete Alonso right now. Pete Alonso, his practice swings are always like that. And our good buddy Paul O'Neill always looked like he was swinging down.
Wow.
Exactly. There's Jeter, and that's the feel that you want to go from top to bottom. Okay? Naturally, you're going to have a slight uppercut, but you can't think uppercut. You have to think down, and the result of that, if everything happens, when you come out, then of course, you have one palm up, one palm down, and it's going to be a slight uppercut. But you see Volpe, you see all these kids, and who's teaching these kids how to hit?
I think everybody is, because that's what Major League teams are doing.
It's so upsetting. I went to a high school game the other day. I saw a kid doing this. I thought he was going to choke himself. I mean, what is this kid doing?
So what was he doing?
The entire team was hitting 200.
Right.
Michael, my entire team, you hit 450 in high school probably. My entire team hit over 400. Right? You cannot have kids hitting 200 because you're teaching. I don't know. What is that?
I hit 450 on my SAT.
I'm the English probably. So Bobby Valentine, who I love, the bottom line is, you're right. It's not swinging this way. But
I'm gonna go ahead and jump in.
Down square and put myself in a position.
Get wet on the outside, stay dry on the inside.
You see Freeman. There's so many great players that do it the right way. More players need to emulate those guys.
So I get inside the heads of the people that are teaching.
But they never play
Launch angle.
Right.
Why do they do it though? Are more home runs being hit because of the launch angle swing and more strikeouts?
Come on, Aaron!
In New York City. If he hits you 22 home runs and he hits you 190 or 210, that's not going to work. You're never going to win like that. You need to have
Let's go, Aaron! My boy!
And I feel like Volpe with great legs, he should be stealing 40 or 50 bases, but you can't strike out 200 times, which isn't pace to do this year. I feel like Volpe needs to put contact and pressure.
I don't like that thing out a little so.
Play short, and you strike out, there's no pressure. I can't
Hey, anyway, let's listen to the game too, boy. 5 on play. Full swing, 9-2-9 out fastball.
This is not a way to. I'm going to hurt myself.
It is interesting though because remember when Kevin.
Hey, let's go. Whoa. What the hell are you throwing that ball? Who the hell is teaching you to catch?
They look at him and it's a picture outcomes.
Moneyball is losing ball. It doesn't work, Michael. You've seen teams like the Yankees, a juggernaut, that are an absolute embarrassment right now with what's happening. And I don't know who it is, especially the computer or the models, whoever's fault it is, it does not work. And then you have teams like the Braves and Houston and the Dodgers, the same lineup.
Okay.
And not flipping around like you're playing chess.
I saw the Yankees saying the Yankees don't work, but in 30 years they made the playoffs 26 times. How do you answer that?
$300 million payroll, everyone makes the playoffs. If you don't make the playoffs, you suck.
Well, then the Mets.
Well, by the way, they have a brilliant owner who said, I tried it for 4 months. We were good last year. Tried it for 4 months. I pivoted because we only had a 12% chance of getting to the playoffs. Imagine when the chance to win a World Series. He says, I want to win a World Series in the next 5 or 7 years. Teams want direction. They either want to go this way or that way. When you're stuck in the middle like the Yankees, you're a dead duck.
What do you feel about when teams say, listen, all of these numbers and all the analytics work over 162 and then the postseason is a crapshoot? What do you say to that?
Crapshoot.
Yeah.
It's not a crapshoot for Houston. They've been in the World Series 6 of the last 7 years or whatever it's been. The Dodgers are going to go right back this year. The Braves. It's not a crapshoot when you know what you're doing. And if you're building a team for 162 and the goal is to win a championship, then you have the wrong formula. Start building other models. Or get rid of it, our analytics department, and bring in a new one. Not all analytics teams are built the same. You've got to start making changes. By the way, Michael, if you do the things, like you would be fired in your job, right?
I might be now.
Well, Flip's in charge. I don't know about that.
And that's the way out. Real versus feel.
Before we get fired, let's get back to it.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, well, let's go to K-Rod's coming back. Come back with us.
It was 1995, and something was brewing at Coors Field.
What a bright sight. Do you see this? This is history. A player this good only comes around once in a blue moon.
Blue Moon was born in Baltimore, brewed by the spirit of baseball.
Got a good feeling about this, yeah, I'm with it. I got a good feeling about this, yeah, so let's get it. I'm feeling good vibes.
You got this. But it's dangerous.
It could cost you your life. You're in this race. Get out of the fight.
Yes, sir. It's all based on true story, PG-13.
Every year, thousands of athletes disappear in clutch moments due to falling hydration levels.
I used to go missing all the time. I let everyone down. I even let Shannon Sharp down.
Yeah, you let me down. They've been told how you feel yourself doesn't matter. That electrolytes are all the same. And just like that, they're gone. Get yourself back in the game. Get yourself a Gatorade. Tell me the difference between dominating and disappearing. Gatorade. Rehydrate, replenish, refuel.
AT&T and Verizon rope you in with phone offers, then bind you to a 3-year device contract. Break free. T-Mobile. Introducing Go 5G Plus, the plan that always gives new and existing customers the same great device deals and upgrade ready in 2 years versus 3.
The League Softball World Series is the best time of the year, igniting a lifelong love of the game. They just love to play. The League Softball World Series continues on the networks of ESPN.
The MLB.TV trade deadline sale lets you follow your favorite players wherever they go for only $34.99. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Sale ends August 6th. That's today. Visit MLB.TV for details. Boy, that's a meme right there. We have a meme. All right, so let me ask you this question, and I want you to be dead honest. If you didn't care about striking,
I'm exhausted.
and you had a launch angle swing,
Yeah.
right? And today you're sitting here
Yeah.
with a lifetime batting average of 245,
Yeah.
but you have 800 home runs, your all-time home run record. Would you trade it in?
If I hit 245, I would have hit 500 home runs, not 696.
Why?
What makes you? This is a myth that you become a terrible hitter. Your contact goes down, batting average goes down, and home runs go up. It doesn't work that way. First of all, if you don't hit 260, 270 in my era, you're going back. You don't even stop at AAA. You go right down to AA, and you're not going to $200. You've got to become a better hitter. Better contact results in more home runs, more at-bats, more RBIs, and more importantly, Michael, a winning philosophy. You cannot win with guys striking out 200 times. And it's disgusting baseball to watch.
Big Steve 89 says, preach, A-Rod, preach.
I can't preach anymore because I'm exhausted.
Hashtag Moneyball ruined baseball. You know, the interesting thing about Moneyball, though, Moneyball was accentuated by Billy Beane because the A's didn't have the money to compete. Right. So they were looking for an equities in the market, right. And they felt that on-base percentage guys were cheaper than the other guys that they couldn't afford Alex Rodriguez. Right. So they went for Scott Hatterberg.
That's right. They found the inefficiencies and attacked it beautifully.
Right.
Now you have 30 teams doing the same thing. Now you have contrarians this way. You have the Braves, Houston, Dodgers, and they do it all. They do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And they have tremendous resources. See, if you have tremendous resources like the Yankees and the Mets, but you only do analytics, you let everybody else compete. When you're the Braves, lower payroll, greater team, because they use a little bit of everything. The complete package. And they're proactive in the way of thinking. They don't let Judge become a free agent. They don't let DJ LeMahieu become a free agent. They signed Acuna for $100 million when Acuna's a $400 million player.
Now, we promised you that we would have Tony Gwynn Jr. with us. He's one of the radio broadcasters for the Padres. He asked us stepping away from the broadcast just for a bit to join us, and Tony is with us right now here on the K-Rodcast. That one is driven to left field, and it's going to be extra bases for Kike Hernandez, so a one-out double. Tony, thanks for joining us. How you doing?
I'm well, Michael. Hey, Ryan, how you guys doing today?
We're doing great. And what do you make, Tony, of this Padre team? Obviously, there's so much talent there, but when we start the game today, one game under 500, what has gone wrong?
I mean, offensively, they just have not been consistent. And, you know, when your big four get off to a slow start like they did, and then you have, you know, the Diamondbacks and the Giants playing well, they kind of dug themselves a hole. Now, last couple of weeks, they've started to look like the offense that I think we've been expecting. But I think for the most part, if there was something you could actually pinpoint, it would definitely be the offense this year.
Now, obviously, your dad was one of the greatest hitters of all time. How would he, I mean, it'll put you in a bad situation, speak for your dad, how would he feel about the way this game is played right now, Tony?
I mean, you know, one of the things my dad was understood, even after he, you know, moved on from the game, was, you know, the velocity and things have risen, but you've seen guys try to really change what had been the groundwork for hitting with launch angle and things of that nature. And I think it's slowly but surely starting to come back around where you start to see guys, you know, look to have more contact, put the ball in play a little bit more. I just think, listen, players aren't dumb. They're going to chase the bag, and if teams are paying for homers and ribbies, they're going to go for the gusto. I think that's what you've seen most players do. There's very few, you know, Arias is out there who look to put the ball in play at that kind of level.
You know, we just saw a video of your dad, a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest hitters who's ever lived. As a kid, did you marvel at what he could do? I mean, did you just watch him and go, how does somebody hit like that?
No, I didn't. I thought it was the norm. I thought it was what everybody did. A quick story. When I was about 9 years old, I got a chance to come in with the clubhouse with my dad, and you know, I was kind of joking around with a few of the players, and I wasn't joking. I just thought that, you know, everybody should be hitting 300, and if you weren't, you know, there was something wrong with it. And I might have said that in maybe not so subtle way, and it got me into a little bit of trouble.
Hey, Jerry. Hey, Jerry. Hey, Jerry.
Jr. had an 8-year career of his own in the major leagues. Some of the highlights that Tony put together. I'll go beautiful thing on today. I missed like everybody else.
Mine Junior. Right, one. I have a special guest on here today.
Things that I think we all grow up trying to do, but I never.
Hey!
One 3-strikeout game.
Hey!
92.
Who in the hell turned off the baseball game?
That's probably why I didn't have more games with the 3 months. That 3 months I gave it to
You showed earlier in the last half inning, Tony, there's a statue of your dad outside the ball.
Thanks for having me.
Say anything? I'm wondering the emotions.
I think at this point it's just a proud moment every time you walk by it. Most of the time when I walk by it, there are people out there, checking it out, taking pictures with it. It's something that the people of San Diego really, really love. As you see people out there now, just kind of hanging around it. It's certainly one of the highlights of the ballpark.
Tony, I had an opportunity to meet your pops when I was 18 at Old Jack Murphy Stadium, and he was an absolute gentleman with me. I was introduced by him. It was like supposed to be like 30 seconds. We literally spent like 25 minutes He was just outstanding. But I want to talk about how significant this date is for your family. Your dad got his 2000 and 3000 hit, and it's also the birthday of your grandma, I understand. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, when you go through my dad's numbers, there are a bunch of things that are eye-popping. That's one of them. I mean, being able to get 2,000 on his mother's birthday, my grandmother, and then to be able to follow that up 6 years later and get 3,000 on that day. You can't make this kind of stuff up. But my dad had a knack for those type of things, and that was certainly one that he was super proud of. I don't know if my dad ever intentionally set it up that way, but when he knew he was in range, it was really, really important to him to be able to get those hits on that specific day.
When he was teaching you how to play baseball, did he try to get you to play just like him? Because there's only one Tony Gwynn.
Yeah, that's very true. He didn't. My dad was really, when it came to baseball, was really hands off. It wasn't until after my junior season in high school and I started asking him questions that he became this open book. I think he was very leery of pushing me towards baseball because we shared the same name. He knew that expectation that would come with it. And so he really was hands off. He was much harder on me in hoops than he was in baseball for a long time.
Now, Tony, before the inning ends, tell me about Gwynn Baseball, what you're doing with that.
I got a few travel ball teams. They're not your typical high-end travel ball teams. We just really want to teach the fundamentals of the game. We want kids that may not be maybe at the bottom of the roster on their high school rosters to be able to go out the following year and make a varsity team. And those memories last a long time. Not everybody's fortunate enough to get to the big leagues, but certainly being able to play the game at a high school level, little league level, is something that a lot of people remember for a very, very long time. So we just try to give those type of kids opportunities and let them kind of, spread their wings, if you will.
I'm wondering, I've listened to your broadcast when I'm in the car. You know the game so well. Did you ever think about being on field or in a front office?
I have my kids. I have 4 kids that range from 8 to 15, and you know, I missed a lot of their growing up, and I just think at this point in time, I want to see them do their thing. They're all into soccer. They play at a pretty competitive level. So right now, I want to see my girls and my son, you know, push off and do something they want to do first. And if, you know, the opportunity presents itself down the line, I certainly would be open to it.
Is there a Tony Gwynn III, and can he hit?
There is a Tony Gwynn III, and he can hit a little bit. He's got a lot of his papa in him for sure. He's the right-handed version one.
Hey, Tony, you're on TV, so we have literally maybe 20 seconds here. Let the viewers know at home 1 or 2 things that Pops taught you that you think are important that you're going to pass on to the third.
Play hard, have fun. That was his first mantra.
Yeah.
Play hard, have fun, and when you get in the box, that's your box. You dictate the action. You let the pitcher do what he does, and you react to it.
I love it.
Tony, continued success on the radio side and whatever you endeavor to do in baseball as well. Thank you so much for coming on.
Keep it going, Tony.
Thank you, fellas. Thank you, guys.
All right. We go to the 6th inning on K-Rock. Dodgers 6. Padres 1. Still more to come.
So you want to be great? First, you are. Greatness requires drill, not like that. But this. Because greatness isn't about what you've done. It's about what you do next.
Arby's Hush Puppy breaded fish strips and fries. The best combo made in the South since you and all became y'all. Arby's, we have the meat.
Where the hell did that go? Oh. How the hell did that get on the damn button? Doesn't matter.
More shopping? You should watch your spending, honey. I'm saving with Liberty Mutual Loan. They customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Check it out. You could save $700 just by switching. Ooh, I'll look into that. Let me put a reminder on my phone. Save $700. Pick up Dad from airport.
Nope.
Oh, only pay for what you need.
We're downhill, folks.
So they get him in motion a little bit. You're just expecting these guys to run.
Russell Cleat at first base. He's going to go first.
He's gone. It's a ball. Ridley Hitchens running a 10-leg
Great jump, great throw. He's got Brandon.
My Iowa pick in Major League Club, Riley Dale, and MLB the only at bat is a
Well, the sun has set, and the greatest city in the world is the backdrop to the seaport.
Yeah.
6th inning, Dodgers 6, and the Padres 1.
6-1 score. K-Rock cast.
And Barnes will lead up.
Barnes will lead off.
You have 2 daughters that are doing great. Your daughter's going to college starting soon. Don't cry. And I've got a son and a daughter. My son loves playing baseball. If you had a young child and you could have that kid play any position to start in baseball, where would you have to play?
Shortstop.
Because you do see everything there.
Shortstop in baseball, point guard in basketball, and quarterback in football. And in these challenging positions, you develop and you get a chance to hone your skills every single day. Because from shortstop is a demotion everywhere after that. No one starts someone that ends up at shortstop unless you're Mookie Betts. Right? The greatest athletes are usually at shortstop, and then as they get upward, they start getting demoted to second or third or center or left.
And how would you teach a kid to hit right at the beginning? Would you do the thing, on the back of your neck?
We gotta sell Greg to show that. I'm still sore. My rib cage is sore from that. Wow. I wouldn't get to anything that's being taught today. I would focus on being a good hitter. I wouldn't worry about launch angle, anchor below.
Just back to ball skills.
Just look at Tony Gwynn, Tom Oliver, Mookie Betts. There's a lot of great ways of doing it today. You mentioned Freeman, but I would basically focus on being a good hitter and not hitting the ball far. Make solid contact and do not strike out.
In your 696 home runs, did you ever try to hit a home run, or was it just a production of hard contact?
Probably a handful of times, and usually I wouldn't hit it. Right? I always wanted to be a good hitter, and I wanted to hit the ball solid. And because I was big and strong, but because I was not obsessed with distance, I was obsessed with having good swing, good mechanics, thinking balance in my leg, and swinging down through the baseball. The little ball. It was a little bit of an outlier, but there was a byproduct of good thoughts and thinking down through the baseball, and that was the swing that you saw.
No, I noticed you were nodding when Tony Gwynn Jr. said, I missed the game or I missed callbacks and I missed the final.
For me, absolutely. I missed my callbacks and I missed the callbacks. And what happens is, Michael, when we won a championship, our 2009, I texted money from our team still. With an agent Burnett or TCP or Teixeira, Robinson Cano, Melky. It really is in Swisher, Matsui, Sada. These guys are involved. There's nothing like winning like when you get to the 50. Now the team of full balance, complete out.
And coach.
How we control the strike zone, all these things are important. All the nothing coach, I cannot tell you my advantage. This terrible piece on the back of the mouth.
You didn't know that because everything self-corrects. Yeah. And what's happening now is not happening anymore, and it doesn't turn around. You see it happening that it might go away.
Of course, because you have the highest payroll. Not out of the courthouse. You have 44, 46 payroll.
All right. Yep.
It's a copycat league, and it's not the baseball, but a monster. So at some point, some of these analytics, those models are broken, those computers are flat.
And you guys see, I got 3 guesses. One. Joe.
Winning is evergreen in this philosophy.
You see that?
Oh.
That X from Kager, who was the passion at the show and talking about the game. Here's Freeman. Slice the other way. It's a fair ball inside third and down the left field line. Freeman will stop at first. And then goes back to first just ahead of the tag. Alex, I watch him.
Well, I got the right above moment. Right above where I am, folks, is I got the fans of the Green Bay Packers right above me. Hang on, let me move people over here. Right? Him. Military fans, 2023. Yeah. Patrick built 15 in house. If anybody else wants to link, just ask for it in the chat. I'll be more than happy to send it on Instagram if you guys got Instagram. Ha! Yeah. Hey, fit.
And again, it's not what's been taught today. It's not celebrated today. But like you said, he's got plenty of home runs and RBIs and a championship player, and he's a Gold Glove defender as well. And you're going to see this fast. JD Martinez is not just a good hitter with power, but he's also a situational hitter. The difference between a strikeout here and what JD Martinez is about to do is why the Dodgers win. And I'm telling you before it happens, right? I guarantee you, this one's going to come in somehow or some way. And the more you do that, Mike, for 160 games, the more winning habits you win.
He's so funny you mentioned that about Tony because he's a left-handed batter. Everything he hits is to the left side, and the coach is like, wait,
Will not let him get around any end of the
Oh yeah, I may want to show that. 3-1 on JD Martinez. If they got any questions, they'll open the mics and ask. I think they're just on mute. Hey, Shady. How's it going?
And he makes that's all about product. See that boy that's tough. You don't see the ball, you lose it, and you see it again.
we used to really think of the Angels at fucking 4 o'clock games.
You just put all of it. Oh, you too. Yes, later.
Because you have Pedro Martinez, you know what he's going to do. This is an experience that there's a residual, a positive residual for the entire team of what that looks like. That's when all of your hair chasing all over the place. And just like something like that.
Swing it. Oh.
Nice hit.
Yeah.
And now, Michael, you see the breaking ball right there.
Oh.
If you're a hitter,
Hey, military fans, 2023. How's it going now?
Michael, look at that. You look at center field.
How's it going? Good.
And then you see a little bit of shadow. You're going to take all those automatic.
Hey, folks, come on in. If you guys are new.
There's a conference on the mound, and now, I'm not sure if that's Melvin pitching for.
Maybe do you want to pitch on this guy or not, and give him the option. Even though you don't have first base open, you still have second base open. So as a pitcher, you have the option to pitch this guy or load the bases. Because if the Dodgers score right here, it might be game time.
We have a true question that's coming our way for both of us. A-Rod hit one career home run at San Diego, and he's at Qualcomm Stadium off one.
My guess would be Andy Ashby, but he probably doesn't feel very confident about that.
Andy Ashby? All right, that didn't cross the line.
Might have liked mine.
No lifeline here, buddy. Breaking ball down.
I was also surprised that we already traded 3 years ago. I know he's in the final year of starting. That's probably not being a signer. But there's still very much in it. I think we have no synagogue.
Two one. We're in the 6th, folks. That was that breaking ball.
We are actually going to Weasel Buster only away from the Sunday baseball broadcast for a while. He's going to join us.
It's a big deal. Big deal.
It's not league response.
This should be a breaking ball, Michael. Probably 2 in a row.
They sometimes pitchers outthink themselves. Like, the guy came in the breaking ball.
Yeah. He's backstage right now. Patrick 15.
You throw it behind the fastball. So now he's going to be a curveball.
And he laid off that one. That was the change.
That was the change.
3-2.
3-2. Yeah.
So second and third now. And a 3-2 count.
Now he's shaking Michael. This is
No.
and the hitter you have to be
Okay. Hey. Sit down, Sonny boy. Have a good night. In the top of the sixth. Damn right. Come on in, folks. Subscribe.
In the connecting rooms, please. Unconfirmed connecting rooms for an extra large closet. Or, for your family.
When you need a connecting room for whatever reason, it matters for you today. Hilton for the stay.
It was
Boom.
Blue Moon was born in a ballpark, brewed by the spirit of baseball. Oh, there's only 2 chairs left. You better hurry. No time. That's what you expect. Not today, buddy.
He is back, folks. He's back. Go ahead and click on add. Why the hell do I see myself? You there? You there? What time?
Now is the time to partner with our experts. For a free tech check, personalized advice, and special offers. Don't miss out. Get started today.
Yeah.
Verizon Business. It's your business. It's your Verizon.
Well, that too.
We go to the bottom of the sixth inning here on K-Rod. Dodgers lead the Padres by a score of 6-1.
6-1 the score is.
Still in there. He's made one mistake, that long home run of the metal building in left field. Gary Sanchez.
Welcome in, everybody. We got 3 people here on the stream with us. Come on in. Join the 3 of us. Come on in. Just ask me. One of the people on screen. Send the link. You're more than welcome to come on in, folks. Yeah.
I'm doing great, although everyone around me there was just flinching at a possible foul ball. Sorry about that.
Now, Buster, you had sent me an email because you wanted me to tee up with this, and I think it's a great way to start because it ties a lot of things together. Tell me the first time that you ever laid eyes on Alexander Emmanuel Rodriguez.
So it was when I was covering the San Diego Padres, and I told Alex the story. I was at Jack Murphy Stadium. I covered the Padres for the San Diego Union Tribune, and Tony Gwynn was taking early batting practice. And during early batting practice, the stadium is completely empty except for a teenager who sits in a seat alongside the Padres dugout. And Tony, in the middle of batting practice, walks over and chats with him for a bit. And comes back and says, "What's that?" He goes, "That was Alex Rodriguez." And he's trying to decide whether he wants to sign professionally with the Seattle Mariners or go to college. Tony told me, I told him to sign professionally, start his baseball career.
That's exactly right. And as a matter of fact, Buster, we were just talking to Tony Gwynn Jr., and I recited that exact same story. And it was supposed to be a 5-minute intro. And I knew how serious and meticulous Tony Gwynn Sr. was about his routine. He He took 30 minutes out of his day and just talked to me, and I was like a little kid looking at a Disney, like, what's going on?
Yeah. Go to Miami and outside it?
Oh, yeah. My mom wanted me to go and play quarterback at the University of Miami and shortstop. And, I mean, we had nothing. The Mariners offered me $1 million.
I told.
Two jobs. She was secretary in the morning and serving tables at night. And she was like, no, we're going to stay by the book. If we don't hit our number, you're going to college. And I said, I'm going to sure.
Now, speaking of Tony.
Well, I know this. I was going to say, Michael, I know this about Tony Gwynn, too. And I tell people all the time, he's my favorite player ever to cover. He loved talking baseball. He was dead honest. And he had no problem.
Well, I do.
No, I'm sorry, the Lawyers Association. I want to stay with the San Diego Padres. I know you think I'm taking whatever. I'm happy with San Diego.
Thanks for subscribing now.
Based on what he thought was best for Alex's baseball career.
Now, you're a believer, Buster, that Tony would have hit 400 if not for the strike, right?
That's exactly right.
I don't you mean, but I don't want to. Alberto Malone, El Solo, but stay on the chat if you knew. Yeah, but let's get to the damn game. Yeah.
Tony Gwynn's someone who would have absolutely loved to have an opportunity at 400 and be on the national stage.
All right, Buster, you're going to hang with us. Xander Bogaerts did not like that strike three call. We're going to go to 7th inning. That's no part.
Yeah.
6-1 now.
Dodgers.
Toe fungus is embarrassing. I was afraid to take my socks off. I had my yellow and crumbly toes from everybody.
Toe fungus is a stubborn condition that won't go away on its own and usually spreads and gets worse. Introducing Crystal Flush, the new and different at-home treatment that flushes out fungus fast.
After just weeks, my fungus was gone. I mean, 100% gone. No joke.
Try Crystal Flush for 30 days absolutely risk-free. Call or visit crystalflush.com now.
When we started our business, we were thinking not doing a stitching. Like, we were setting up the station. I think it was just like 1 or 2 clicks. Everything was up and running. I was bringing out labels and saving money.
Ship station saves us so much time. It makes it really easy. Seamless. They can order, print and name needs on the label on the box, and it's ready to go.
And cost for shipping, like, we're cut in half.
I don't know what you're doing.
The #1 choice in online sales. Station.com/try and get 2 months free. The grass is greener. The stakes are higher. Pressure has been building for months. Dolphin Sun test forward. The finest strength. PGA Tours with the next playoffs on ESPN+.
People who come to cricket, stay. I started my own app company.
Come on in, everybody.
Answer calls from engineers and investors, and no, it's great. 5G, boss mode, activate. Wow, you're on cricket. Thanks, anyways. What you watching? The FIFA Women's World Cup is the best of all time. Okay. Imagine if Doritos actually won. She got the Brady just saying. Big show.
All right, we go to the bottom of the 7th inning here. Our top of the 7th inning, K-Rod, it's Dodgers 6 and the Padres 1. And we continue to be joined by our good friend Buster. Only Buster, baseball deadline coming on. What surprised you in a positive way, and what surprised you in a negative way?
Well, I think what surprised me in a positive way was how aggressive, again, the Houston Astros were in getting Justin Verlander. I think Jim Crane, their owner, has a great feel for the deadline. He was the driving force behind the Astros acquiring Verlander in 2017. He pushed that deal across the finish line then, and he was the one who made the deal now. I think once he recognized the blueprint of what the Mets are trying to do,
Yeah.
by eating all that money in the Max Scherzer deal with the Texas Rangers, he jumped in. I I know that Jim Crane wanted Verlander back for this year. He just didn't want to pay it $43 million. When the Mets paid all that money, it made it palatable for the athletes. And I think on the downside, were so many teams that initially were looking for starting pitchers.
Wow, what a play.
The Yankees, the Cincinnati Reds, the Atlanta Braves. I think that probably reflects the fact that as time goes on, the preeminence of starting pitchers is going away and there are fewer available.
Do you believe that baseball is going to have a moment where they say, you know, the top 4 teams with payroll right now, if the season ended, would not be in the postseason, that they're going to find religion when it comes to money?
What's so interesting in talking with agents, they fear what's coming winter. They feel like that there is a giant rollback of some of the offers that some of the teams are going to make because of the struggles of so many of the high-priced guys from last winter and the high-priced teams. The money the Mets spent, the Padres, who certainly have had some struggles this year. All those shortstops who signed just about have had issues this year, and they haven't played that well. So the agents are anticipating that a lot of the money that we saw spent last winter, except for Shohei Ohtani, is going to be available for free agents.
Do you think that's still growing in the Major League business, or will it still make a run?
I think they'll make a run at it, but if the perception of Ohtani is right, in the end, Ohtani will have options on the West Coast. Look, as one general manager said to me, anybody who pretends to know what Ohtani really wants is full of garbage. And so I think the Mets will do their due diligence. The Cubs will. The New York Yankees will probably do their due diligence, and they'll check in on it. But people believe he's going to wind up on the West Coast, whether it's the Dodgers, Angels, Giants, one of those teams.
How about the Padres? Obviously, they've been big money. Would they even investigate Ohtani? Or they also said maybe big money is not the way to do this?
Strike one.
They absolutely will. And maybe about their
Go again.
trade deadline.
What the hell is that back?
Their chances to make the playoffs, according to FanGraphs, running about 25%. And yet, AJ Preller, who I talked to earlier today, their head of baseball operations, and guys like Rich Hill and Joe.
6-1 Dodgers on the bottom of the 7th.
You get roped in with phone offers that fund you to a 3-year device contract. Break free with T-Mobile. Introducing Go 5G Plus, the first plan that always gives new and existing customers the same great device deals and upgrade ready 2-year versus 3. Right now, bring T-Mobile to your phone and get the amazing iPhone 14 on us. Proud. Free. The amazing iPhone 14 on us. Proud. Free.
Chris Taylor. Man. We're 3 down, probably 2 outs in the inning.
Progressive can protect you from becoming a bad, but we can protect you from
In 1945, all I was doing from
Going to the bottom of the 7th, folks. This hurts a little bit of mine.
Used to struggle with easy message. Now you just free flight.
All of his game coming, he should be coming out of him.
The average replace for live baseball, real-time pitch-by-pitch updates, faster than ever in personalized highlight reels based on players you follow every day. Download the MLB app today. I love that app. I'm not going to lie. I'm on it every time. And Twitter question for your next question. For Alex, how often would you guess what pitch would come? There are high chance of success if you're wrong half the time.
So, my teacher was Baker Martinez, a Hall of Famer. He was my teammate for many years in Seattle. He always taught me to always look for a fastball right down the middle, because that fastball in the middle will give your mechanics in the perfect place. And then obviously you're just from there. The opposite fastball, I'm just breaking balls by. With over 10,000 at bats, wherever I had.
Rondo strikeout on the top half.
You know kind of what's coming and what position, what. So the answer is not in guess.
Ball outside.
You know, it's funny because there are some hitters that guess. A guy like Tony Martinez, he guessed a lot, and he guessed right a lot. And then his teammate, Paul, hated guessing.
Right.
And he said, I would say that's what react up everything else. Yeah. But there are good hitters that guess.
Yeah.
Giant.
Always a fastball cheater.
I mean, one.
You can't go wrong by looking fastball out over the plate and then adjusting from there.
Peace, everybody. This is White Road Wagon Andrew.
So you had all those at-bats all those years. So once you hit 34 or whatever, then you go, you know, from the breaking ball. Would you sit breaking ball?
No, what I would do is I would look fastball, but in the back of my head, I knew that a
Hey.
breaking ball was the best pitch, or if I had to put the fastball ready. In the back of my head.
On home run. 6-3 Dodgers.
Yesterday, and I got the whole crowd now. You see the ball a little bit better.
I mean, 62. Excuse me.
Yeah, yesterday at 7 runs in the 8th inning. And that's more runs than San Diego scored in any of the previous 19.
Let's try this again.
Yeah.
Against the Dodgers. They did that one inning in the Padres.
And the crease is there. And you have what they need. You had a guy like Boomer and a guy like Lando, the two perfect guys you want out there because they attack the strike zone. They're not going to walk you, and they'll dance around. I think Lynn's going to help him down the stretch. He's a winning pitcher, and he's also someone that's been there and done that.
Well, that too.
And this stat jumped out at me. I'm sure you saw this as well. They lost 13 games where they held the lead in the 8th inning or later. I mean, you're a guy like Mariano Rivera in the bullpen. That's fine. They lost 13 games in the 8th inning or later.
That's insane. And let me throw some more at you. 0-10 in extra inning games.
Unbelievable. That's
statistically incredible. And 6-16 in one-run games. So no matter how you cut it, with a little bit of luck, the Dodgers will be 7 or 8 games ahead. And sometimes that's what data sometimes is not all equal, right? Like, that's crazy. 0-10, I've never heard of that for a team that good. To be 0-10 extra innings.
62. Sanchez is on second. Uh-oh.
Sanchez deep to right center field. And it's off the wall.
It's off the wall.
And a double for Sanchez.
Double for Sanchez. 6-3 Dodgers.
He's 60 years old in the Yankees. The one thing he can do is hit. He's had his ups and downs, but against good pitching, he knows how to put that back.
Trent Grisham
this was probably the last chance saloon for Gary Sanchez. After being released by the Mets, been released previously before that as well. If it does work out with the Padres, does he get another chance?
I think he does.
And now,
Anybody new here in the chat?
in the third inning, because it's 15 home run of the year.
Not bad at all.
The one thing that was always misunderstood about Gary, and I can speak about the Yankee years, Gary has body language that tells you kind of chill and doesn't care that much. That guy worked so hard. He did care, and I think he was overwhelmed by the negativity that started to be showered on him because of all the fastballs and things like that. But it wasn't because he didn't care, Alex. He really did care.
Yeah, I thought before they picked up Stanton, I thought my move would have been to let him sit at the DH spot for a couple of years and see how that works out. And if it didn't work out, then you can just release it and have to dominate those things. But it's a complicated winning in that situation. But I thought if you let him focus on just hitting, you have a better shot. And in New York, the Avalanche can work in a positive way and in a negative way. I've been on both sides of that, and so has Gary, but I don't think he was able to overcome the negative Avalanche.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of his failure at the end. 1 and 2 on Kim.
1 and 2 on Kim.
So you know, he became the poster boy of what was wrong with the Yankee team for those years. And I thought it was a little bit unfair. But look, now he's come back. He's still relatively young. And like you said, 50 home runs, he's back in action.
Just missed outside.
Just missed outside. Dodgers off the at bat.
With 2 more turns at bat, they have a much better shot. Big.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Get an angle, make the throw, and that will do it. So 1 run on the 2 hits. Sanchez is left stranded. We're going to go to the 8th inning with the Dodgers up 6-2. Brad Paisley is going to join us. Big Dodger fan, big star.
Brad Paisley, folks. Bum, 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 bum. Dun, bum, 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 bum. Dum, 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 dum. Where the hell do I got that damn song in my head, Bob?
They customize your car insurance, you only pay for what you need. You could save $700 just by switching.
Son of a bitch.
On the top of the pile. Only pay for what you need.
That's what I got for it. Shut up. No. Sitting on a bike, you folks.
Music superstar. He loves his Dodgers. Hanging out with Scott Boras, performing at Dodger game. Kershaw's. He is locked in. The interlocking LA, and now he joins us. We're wearing the black interlocking LA cap. Brad, thanks for joining us. How you doing?
I'm thrilled to join you guys. How are you guys doing tonight?
What a Paisley! Yeehaw! Come on in. Gone, country. Look at him, yeehaws. Gone, country.
Nashville doesn't have a team, and anyway, I started going to Dodger games out in California and started taking my kids to those. We have a place out there. Love this team. I love these guys, and we've had such a run too. I mean, just
3-time Grammy winning singer and songwriter, sing the national anthem at the Multi-World Series. Lifelong Dodger fan. Swing and miss, strike one.
That's a really good question. You know,
Well, in the hell did that miss, huh?
until I've now seen him play, and
What in the hell?
I really love the way they're stealing bases. I'm trying to think. I think I would.
Now that's better.
I would probably
Let's keep it there.
deadline even more interesting somehow by like moving it up a little bit. I think I'd go back to the less teams make the playoffs, even though that's more interesting for people. I do feel like it made it easier for the teams to sort of bulk up, but I don't know.
I think you're on the same thing. One of the greatest moments I ever had in my career that got the most hits was when Jay-Z and Alicia Keys performed at the World Series in 2009, and that was the last time we saw it. So I will bring it back every year, and I'm going to take a page from the NFL and make it baseball, media, entertainment, 360 all year round.
Yeah.
So the more I can bring people like you in the room, the better.
Yeah, that's good. I'll just talk to you about it. What's your connection that brought you and Clayton Kershaw together? You guys are really close. You know,
Walk to the kingdom. Stay tuned for more football coming on up on both channels. Primarily the sports channel. I will call some football on this channel. Been live for 2 hours, folks. Been live for 4 hours total today, so that's good enough for me. 8th inning. I'm gonna let the ESPN boys take it away from here. Turn over, whatchamacallit, person. I'm coming to bed. I'm going to old Betsy, I think. Or Dad Bojo. When the hell he said that phrase from the Dad Bojo, where we got that quote from? Somebody can look that up and post it in the after comment section. That would be nice. So, but if you're watching the replay, spank that like button. Spank that subscribe button. Help us out through the 7th, 8th, and 9th foul ball. How do you think Major League Baseball was fair in that market? Nah, I don't know.
First of all, I'll tell you this: we didn't know a thing about hockey, and we treated them like royalty. And that hockey team, you'd have thought it was like Saskatchewan by the time that the Birds came in. I know we eat up the baseball team. We eat it up big time.
Well, that is a damn true statement, Brad. Pardon the language, kids.
It's a great town. I love the country music. I love the entertainment, the restaurants.
2 outs, 3-2 pitch.
You never know who you're going to see up here. Wanted to wave. He's unemployed right now. This is Seth. Seth. What's up?
Time ball! Big on! Ball, get up, get out of here. Get the hell out of damn Dodge.